Ben Domenech joining me now. Ben, one of your former colleagues, Molly Hemingway, put out a Twitter challenge saying, what's the single best achievement of Senate Republicans over the past 2 years? Kind of hard to think of one, isn't it?
Well, I think that obviously the most significant achievement that they had were the things that didn't happen, things that are likely to happen now that you have actual 51 control for the Democrats. Before, you didn't have the kind of powers that they're going to have in committees and that kind of thing. So it's kind of, you have to make the case for a negative. But yeah, I mean, I think it's, the best thing that they've been able to achieve basically is rolling back the vaccine mandate in this latest NDAA for the members of the military. And of course, I think the kind of steps that have been taken as it relates to China, for instance, the most recent one being, Senator Josh Hawley's bipartisan effort to remove TikTok from government phones.
Right.
Those are kind of, I mean, that's pretty small beer.
It's incidental,
and it's one of these situations.
Compare that to a $1.7 trillion spending package, which Mitch McConnell said was a great success. He said that yesterday, as a matter of fact. A lot of Republicans just shaking their heads, saying this really pulls the rug out from under the question of what Republicans stand for.
Well, you just saw, I mean, as much as the midterms disappointed a lot of Republicans, you just saw them take back the House, and you also saw them have enormous advantages when it came to the overall popular vote, just in terms of the millions and millions of Americans who came out and voted Republican in this past election. Is this what you think they actually wanted, Mitch McConnell? Because I sure don't.
No,
and I don't think that a lot of other people on Capitol Hill, certainly on the House side, believe that that's true.
And they're even going whole in on this pork barrel spending. I mean, you have Senator Shelby getting over $600 million for these vanity projects that taxpayers in places like New York and Iowa are paying for.
Yes, and I think that one of the things that we need to keep in mind here is that Shelby, like so many of the other members who are voting on this, is headed for the exits. And he gave a comment a couple of weeks ago about how, he needed to make sure that he got enough in this final package for himself, meaning things that he wanted. And that's the kind of thing that I think
it's not his money, though. It's stuff that he wants, but it's
not his money.
It's not his money. Yes, I mean, it's just not right. That's what Republicans used to stand for. You can't spend other people's money so casually as Republicans themselves are now doing in the Senate. Quickly, I want to switch to Zelenskyy, who's going to be in Washington. He's going to be meeting with the president. Then he's going to have an address to Congress. Clearly, he's looking for more money, even though $100 billion is how much the total, if the omnibus passes, that's how much he's going to be getting this year. That's more than 10% of our entire military budget. I know it's an important cause, but is that too much?
Well, I think the timing of this is really bad for a number of reasons. A lot of members are surprised by it, including senators who are headed out of town to avoid the bad weather that's coming through. And so it was really sprung on people, I think, by Speaker Pelosi in an unfortunate way. The other thing is Americans are really tired of the amount that we're spending on this war versus our European allies, where this is in their neighborhood. They ought to be doing more to pay their fair share. And while it's nice to see, Zelenskyy and say, hey, we appreciate it, you're welcome, I also think that this is poorly timed and not something that really reiterates that we have the interests of the American consumer at heart, which ought to be the priority for members of Congress right now.
Bingo. I think you're right on. Ben Domenech, great to talk to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.